first-time home buyers, right? That's something that I've gone over before, but that's something that I'm always gonna put out there because a lot of people don't really know the specifics of what that is and how that helps them purchase and what programs are available and who actually falls into that category. Give me a split second. Let me open this door for my dog. Go. Okay, so with first time home buyers, a lot of people think that means that you've never purchased a home before. And for all the programs that I'm aware of, because there could be some specific program that doesn't align with this, but all the ones that I'm aware of, it's a 3-year period. If you haven't purchased a home in a 3-year period, then you could fall under the first time home buyer category. And outside of that, obviously, if you've never purchased a home, then you'd be considered a first time home buyer. And what that does is that puts you in a position to qualify for down payment assistance programs, closing cost assistance programs, grants, and different things that can help you get into a property. And in certain cases, you can get into a property with $0 out of your pocket or very little out of your pocket. Usually, the way that these programs work, for example, I'll just give one example and then I would say do your own research. I'll put some links into the description or in the description. But usually, the way these programs work is you'll get the bulk portion of the financing for the property from FHA, Fannie Mae, like a conventional loan or an FHA loan. And then the down payment, the way that you create the 100% financing is the down payment assistant comes in and fills in that small portion that FHA or conventional aren't covering. So, for example, with FHA, if your credit score is 580 and above, they'll finance 96.5% of the purchase price of a home. And in certain areas, their loans go as high as $1 million, depending on like if it's considered a high cost area. So, for example, if this is $1 million purchase price on the home, FHA will give you a loan for $965,000. I'm pretty certain that that's 96.5%. So the remaining 3.5% you would either have to come up with on your own, get some sort of a gift from a friend or a family member, or use some sort of grant or down payment assistance. There are grants out there. Grants are usually a little bit more specific. They might be specific to a job type. Like let's say that you're in the healthcare industry. There might be some sort of a down payment assistance specific to that industry. There might be down payment assistance grants specific to a certain community. A certain city might provide down payment assistance, and usually those will have like funding at the start of the year, and they'll have a certain amount that they can give out. And then once they're done, or a lot of those, once they're done, the funding's done, and then it has to wait until the following year. But then, those are usually grants. Grants will usually have a certain amount of funding until they run out. Not all of them work that like that, but check into your job and your community, see if there's anything like that, or ask your loan officer that you're working with. Contact me, especially if you're in California or Texas, and I can help you out with that. Um, but the down payment assistance programs that aren't necessarily your county or city related, and they are not related to your job type or your industry, are, let's say, like a CalHFA, California Housing Financing Authority or Administration, but they'll back up, they'll go behind a FHA loan. They'll provide that additional or they'll give you like 3% for the down payment, and then like another 2% for closing costs. I'm probably butchering it up right now because there are a lot of specifics on that. And once again, I'll put the link in the description, or you can contact me directly. We'll pull up and run a specific scenario to you and your qualifications, and I'll give you all the specifics there. But basically, the down payment assistance program makes up the difference between the 96.5% and the total purchase price of the property. And in certain scenarios, certain types of those down payment assistance will even give you an additional amount for closing costs. So I've done loans like that and done transactions like that where my clients, they literally didn't have to come out of pocket for the loan. All they did was put money down for their earnest money, because when you buy a house, as a show of good faith, when you're entering into the transaction, you'll put down 2%, 1%, sometimes 3%, sometimes more. Um, and then that gets credited back to your overall like cost on the loan. In this scenario, my clients put like $5,000 into earnest money. At closing, since they got so much credits from the down payment assistance and the closing cost credits from the program, they actually got a little money back. They got like a credit towards. I don't think the lender returned it to them. I think they credited it towards their principal or something like that. This was a couple years ago, but this happens, and these programs are still available, and it's just really about communicating with someone like myself that can check out your personal kind of stats and then figure out which programs adhere best to that, and then figure it out. But usually what you'll see is that if you are taking advantage of like a down payment assistance program, maybe the rate on the front end of the mortgage is a little bit higher, and that's kind of like the incentive for the lender to offer you the down payment assistance, because they're making a little bit more money on the front end of the rate. So there are pros and cons to everything, especially when there's going to be some sort of financial benefit. So you obviously got to check into that. But it's all about weighing it out. If it's something that gets you into your property earlier and you're going to, gain equity in the time frame and, be able to buy the house that you want, maybe it's worth taking a little bit of a higher interest rate in that time frame. So that is a small glimpse at down payment assistance. There's tons of programs out there. Like I said, there's grants, so feel free to reach out to me, and you can communicate back and forth via email and figure out if there's some way that we can help you out, and let you know which programs would work best for you, and get real specific on the details of what's actually available. So as you know from my channel, we talk about a lot of different things, but my profession is mortgage banking. Been in the industry for 20 years plus. I've had my own company for approaching 7 years now, and we've been rocking and rolling. And we stay on top of what the most recent and most aggressive programs and literally everything that's out there, because we're on a constant email stream with tons of lenders that we work with, finding out what programs are coming out, as well as being aware of what changes are being made on the back end regulation side, just to stay informed for not only our clients, but our agents and our professional partners as well, like realtors and referral partners, things like that. So on that note, let me let this other dog out, these little dirt balls.